Every step in life requires some level of courage and some degree of bravery. Yesterday we spoke about how the Prophet ﷺ demonstrated what bravery and courage were all about. And his companions, radiallahu anhum ajma'in, they took this from him. And from that point on, whenever and wherever they were faced with odds, and the odds were overwhelming, but what they were standing for was true, they always found the courage to remain steadfast on the truth and even endure hardships that came their way. Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu felt that it was important to announce his iman. He felt that he should convey this message of La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah. So he stood up in Al-Masjid Al-Haram and he recited the Shahada, Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wa ashhadu anna Muhammadar Rasulullah, in front of everyone. And people pounced on him. They beat him up. They beat him so severely that his nose became flattened against his face. That's how badly they pummeled him. They took their shoes and they ground them into his face. He lost consciousness, he was beat up really badly. He woke up towards the end of the day. And the first question that comes out of his lips is, how is the Prophet ﷺ? Is he okay? And people were very disappointed. Some of his family members who were not yet Muslim, they were looking after him and they said, after going through all of this, that's all you can think of the moment you get up? He said, Wallahi, I'm not going to eat or drink anything until I see him. I need to see him. So he forced them to take him to the Prophet ﷺ. And there he was content. Similarly, those companions that migrated when they had to, under very difficult circumstances, many times their lives would be in danger. But they had the courage to do what was required at that time. They never shied away, they never allowed themselves to be scared away from these challenges. In the Battle of Badr, the Muslims were only 313. And the non-Muslims were 1,000 or more than 1,000. They had all the weapons that an army could have at that time. And they had come fully prepared. And the Muslims were just told randomly on the spot that let's go. And they got ready. Half of them were carrying sticks in their hands. They didn't even have proper swords. But they went out anyways. In the Battle of Uhud, the Muslims were invaded. Medina was invaded and they had to put up this fight to defend themselves. In the Battle of Khandaq, Battle of Ahzab, the same thing happened. And this repeated itself in the time of the Prophet ﷺ and after the time of the Prophet ﷺ. This is a time when many of us are thinking of and talking of Sayyidina Hussein radiallahu anhu, the grandson of the Prophet ﷺ, who was tricked and deceived into making a shift from Mecca towards Iraq, and on the way they were attacked. They were cornered, and he just had his family members. He had women and children with him. But at no point did he say that, okay, fine, I give up. He stood up for what was haqq. He stood up for what was the truth, and he fought for it till his last breath. And he set the example for those after him that you must do what is right and stand up for it and don't be scared. Today the world remembers him. No one remembers the people that did that to him, except for when they're angry and they're insulting them and they're cursing them for doing that to such a great man. So whenever we stand up for the truth, the initial phase is going to require courage and bravery. But those are the only people that history remembers. If you want your name to be remembered by the world, then there will be times in life when you have to take a courageous step. And it will be sometimes, it will just be a decision of a couple of minutes. But you have to make that decision then and there. And once that occasion is gone, if you don't make the right decision, that opportunity is past, it may never return. And there will be a number of such opportunities in your lives as you're growing up. And the only thing that will stop you from making the decision is a lack of courage. I don't have the courage to do it. I really want to, but I just don't have the courage. So remember one thing, that when there is something pertaining to your deen, pertaining to your loyalty to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, your loyalty to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, your iman, your faith, then always look for that courage inside and stand up for yourself, stand up for your deen. At that moment, don't be cowardly. Because that cowardly position is not just a reflection of yourself, but it is a reflection of your fellow Muslims. Those are the occasions to be brave. When Islam is being attacked by people, people are putting down Muslims, people are shaming Muslims, people are trying to make Muslims feel insecure about themselves, that is the time to stand up with courage, stand up bravely, stand up with strength, and stand up for yourself and for other people, and you will see that history has a way of preserving the names of such people. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala fill our hearts with the courage to do the right thing at the right time, and may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala save us from cowardice and from stepping back when we need to actually move forward. Wa sallallahu wa sallam wa baraka ala nabiyyina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa ashabihi.